Let me go live. Hey, we live and hot up in this piece. What's going on? Season 3 of the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, man. It is me, your boy, the Guru. And over here, we got Kev the Great in the building, man. So listen, I'm glad you guys are up in the building. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's listening on the audio platform, the audio version of this, thank you for listening. My 365 listeners, thank you. Let me go live on TikTok. TikTok is up and going. So I want to thank you. If you come up in this joint, please go ahead and share the broadcast out to your friends, family, and all of that. So welcome to season 3, y'all. I'm telling you, we got a great show lined up for you. I have a great guest. One of my favorite TikTok creators is up on here tonight. So we're going to do our thing. But before we get into that, season 3 has so many surprises. It has so many things popping off. We are so big this season, that we got not one intro.
They ain't ready.
But 2 of them bad boys. So here's the first one. We got to for the visual guests that are here in the building. Hold on. There's no sound. I am so upset.
But we look good.
We look good, though.
We look good. Let's go.
There is no sound. That is amazing to my people. I'm like, that boy ain't got no sound.
What's wrong with him? Did we just enter the bootleg podcast?
What happened, bro? So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and stop that. That's it. Okay, that's the end. I'm sorry, y'all. So, oh man,
we kicking season 3 off.
I know it was late, man. Came on at the
I'm
end.
struggling over here. I thought that thing had some sound. It don't.
What's up, kid?
What up, pimpin'?
And they got no sound up in here. So if you are in here again, please make sure you share the broadcast out. We are going to cut up today all the way because it's like that. All right, it's season 3. All right, so this is for my audio folks. Let's see if this will play, maybe.
It's Sunday, so you know what time that means. It's time for the best hour on the internet, the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast. With your hosts, the Guru, Kev the Great, E Trouble, and D Good. Catch us live every Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok. Visit Knucklehead Chronicles podcast for past shows, clips, and previous guests. Now buckle up, because here we go!
All right, folks, what's happening? Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Let me cut that off. It's getting on my nerves. All right, so what's happening with you guys, man?
Good. The intro's tough, man.
Dwayne's on mute. If he wants to talk, he is on mute. I don't know if he knows that.
I was on mute. Oh, Lord.
No, I was on purpose.
I cannot hear you, brother. You are so low. Wait a minute. Here we go. Say something else.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I had to turn it down. My bad, man. My bad. My bad. All right, so welcome, all 8 of you. I'm not sure what platform you're on, but if you're in here, please make sure you go ahead and comment. Let us know you're listening. And we up in the building. My shirt today is autism in support of my son, Terry Jr., who is in there wreaking havoc in my house right now. It's amazing how you're doing that. But anyway, how was you guys' vacation? We had 2 weeks off. 1 week was my birthday. Next week, I went to Idaho for a wedding, man. How was you guys this week?
Blessed, man. I had a good time off, man. A lot of thinking. Celebrated birthday and all.
That's what's up. That's right. It was your birthday, right? Anniversary too, right?
No, just the birthday. Mm-hmm. Anniversary is in November.
Well, happy anniversary early. How about that?
Happy belated birthday to you, sir.
Dwayne, how was your week, brother?
Same old. You know, I'm learning every single day. Life is about perspective. Because it's really the same.
I know.
I mean, we think about it. It's all how you look at it. And I'm choosing to be happy. So even in the midst of the craziness and all the positivity levels going high again.
You didn't choose violence this morning? That's what's up, though. Kev, how was your week, man? How was your vacation, spring break, all that chat?
Oh, man. Vacation, Easter, our first week off, we started off rough, as you know. I remember talking to you about that. But we're going to get into that, too, in a minute.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been building up climactic to a point where the wedding's coming up soon.
You nervous yet?
I'm nervous that it's not.
Yeah,
You know how you want it to go. You want it to go smooth. I want it to be smooth. I want my family from out of town enjoying themselves. Everybody eat good, drink good, celebrate great. But besides that, the coaching, I almost quit baseball coaching.
Oh man, don't do that.
Don't do it, man. The kids need you.
And that's what happened, you know, that's what I thought about, you know, and then I talked to my brother Pete, who, if y'all watching the seasons previous, you saw my brother and my niece, and my brother's the one that raised me in the sport. So I had to get my thoughts, gather my thoughts. My lady, she put it in my head, hey, these kids need you. My son is on my team. So I owe it to this.
You finna get right into your say with your chest, man. Be cool, man. I got you, bro. Hold on,
man.
Hold on. So those of you guys who are new and are here because Josh is here, it's cool. Appreciate you. Hope you come back next week too. But anyways, we have a couple of segments that we do here. The first one that we do is called "Say It With Your Chest." That's with our host Kevin Peoples. So let me roll his beautiful bean footage real quick.
Please do.
Get ready, cause it's time for
Say It With Your Chest.
only on the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast.
All right, boss. Floor is yours.
Can I have my screen? Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Public, I'm gonna make this a PSA, public service announcement. Please look directly at me when I tell you, when you are volunteering for something, your free time, and it's starting to feel like a business, should you get paid for it? Let's keep this short and simple. As y'all know, I'm a baseball coach, and I volunteer for my time. I was on the board, let's make that, let's let that be known. I took myself off the board. My fiance, who was on the board as well, taking her off. It's starting to become a business, and I don't get paid for this. I mean, if at the end of the day, where's my cheddar? But once it starts to not be about the kids, which it's supposed to be about, who's the actual customers of the sport. If it's not about them, and you're not taking into consideration the parents that pay for a certain product and what should be done, you cut your losses. I almost cut my loss. I almost quit, but you can't give up on these kids. If we give up on these kids, it turns into something bigger than what we're making it out to. So my thought on this today, and I really wanted to say it with my chest, those of you that are on the board of any sort, please remember about what it's really about. It's about these kids. It's not about you. Not about how you make it easier for you and the board members. It's about you, the kids, and the parents. Because without everyone all collectively together, it's not going to work, and it's going to fail.
Say that with your whole chest.
I love the kids.
I love the kids.
Love the kids. Either if you have nipples or if you don't have nipples, say it with your chest anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And grab you some merch. Grab you some merch, please.
I'm gonna get
say that too.
Right.
Get ready, cause it's time for
Say It With Your Chest.
only on the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast.
All right, you guys, we back, man. Thank you, Kev, for that. Say it with your chest, man. I look forward to that segment every week because their delivery on everything is like, what's Kevin gonna do this week? We don't know how it's gonna go down. I know, and our next segment that we do it after everything, and that's with D Good there, Knucklehead of the Week. I know he's got a few brewing over there. So let's get into why we are here, right? So our guest this evening is he's one of my favorite TikTokers. This is going to be the TikTok season because I have another TikToker coming on in 2 weeks that is pretty big on that. So his name is Josh. He goes by @Wadsworth Jr on TikTok. So if you guys are on TikTok, make sure you go and follow him. He is hilarious. And
great guy.
Let me go ahead and give him his introduction. Wadsworth Jr., better known as Josh, to friends and family, is a husband, father, musician, and educator. He was in the field of education for almost 10 years. His passion has always been to inspire others to do better, and just that, and do that through his music as well as his career in education. His motto is love people, do good things, and be dope at something. So before I bring him on camera and we give him our I'm going to share with you my favorite TikTok of this brother, because he is absolutely hilarious here. So you guys, so hopefully you guys can hear it, but he should play through my things. She's about to hear it. All right, but this is a real. If you guys are familiar with TikTok's 60-second videos. They're very short, so you have to watch it. Okay. Now, before we get into this TikTok, I want you to notice his face, and I want you to notice the release of her hand when she does it. Okay, so just be mindful. Just watch it. All right. Let's see. It's short and it's sweet, right? But it was that was the video that made me follow him. So without further ado, let's welcome on our guest today, Josh Wadsworth Jr. We bring him on real quick.
Hey,
What's going on with you, man? I am so thankful that you accepted coming on with me today and collabing, because a lot of people don't like to do that stuff on TikTok. Once you get level on TikTok, they don't want to mess with you. It was like, you a small account. You know, we don't do you like that.
man.
So, I'm glad you came. What's up, Quanda? Quanda says, hey, Josh. He says, what's up?
Hey,
Yeah, everybody coming in. So if you are in here by way of Josh, thank you for coming. So I hope you come. I hope there's enough in here that makes you come back next week. So we really appreciate you. So just to introduce real quick, Josh, there's Kevin. You already met him. Ephraim is over in the far right. And then you have Dwayne right here beside you on the screen.
Hold on, bro. Hey, how's it going, bro?
All right.
Dwayne and Ephraim hail out of Georgia. Texas, Kevin's in Texas. And of course, I'm in Missouri and all of that jazz. So
Y'all all over the place.
Yes, sir.
we talk about the virtual reality up in this piece, boy.
Exactly.
So, Josh, where you from, brother? That's the first question.
I'm from Flint, man. Flint, Michigan.
Hey, do y'all still have that water issue up there?
I mean, it's not as bad. It's better than what it was, you know. But we still, you know, taking precautions though, you know.
Yeah, sure, man. That's what Drake Gab and ball that thing up. Oh, before we get into a deep conversation with Josh here, a few things. If you want to join the website, if you want to follow us, you can go to the website That's not even right. Knucklehead Chronicles podcast.com. I guess I was just jumping the gun there, I guess. You can catch the show live. If you don't watch us on Sundays, which is fine. I always say that. If you watch us on Sundays, that's fine. You can catch the audio version of this on Live 365 on your mobile device, preferably iPhone. But just go and download. See, that was a dig. Samsung. Okay. So anyway,
I caught that.
And just do a search for Sound Machine FM on the Live 365 app. Catch us on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the website as well, you can catch our merch. Kevin's rocking and modeling a t-shirt from the show. So make sure you go copy your shirt. Also, you can follow us on Charm City Direct TV right here on Facebook. So if you're not familiar with Charm City, where the CEO is Ernest Harris, or E. Digger, what we like to call him, going over there, do a search for the Charm City Direct TV.
Hey, yo, these shirts are mad comfortable too, yo.
Hey, man. Man, you can sleep comfortably in those, brother. I promise you.
I'm gonna definitely need one.
Yeah.
Grab the hoodie. That's my next one.
The hoodie.
Hey, Sharnese said, hey,
sis.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry, man. You got some fine followers. Anyway, no, I'm sorry.
Let me go ahead and lay hands on him early.
Oh, Jesus.
Do it, D. Do it, D.
Hey, look, that couch is lumpy, my friend.
It's very lumpy.
That's my Yoda quote for the day. The couch is lumpy as the couch, my friend.
Brains lose too, bro. I promise you.
Hey, my fiance about to look at me with.
Oh man, so
I'm
let's
about to get some thrown at him, me because of him.
I cannot. No, I'm not gonna do it today. All right, so let's get into it. Josh, my first question. I'm not sure if you guys have questions for Josh. I know I do. If you do, just put those in private chat for me. So that way I can go ahead and put them up while he's answering a question. So, Josh, the first question that I want to ask you, good sir, like after saying thank you for coming on, I really appreciate you. You are now, sir, have entered into the hot seat today up in here. So. This ambush journalism. That's what it is.
Exactly.
So, Josh, first question, man. Why is your name so long?
Man, okay, so listen, this is the thing. I knew I was gonna have to explain this.
Yeah.
What happened was
Right. So I guess the short version of the long story is my dad wanted a junior. Okay. So his name is Harold Wadsworth Jones. So but my mom wanted a Josh. So they gave me my pop's name. So I'm a junior, Harold Wadsworth Jones Jr. But then they just called me Josh. So all my life, so my nickname has nothing at all to do with my real name. But then later on down the road, some real good friends of mine on the musical side found out that my middle name is Wadsworth. So they started calling me Wadsy. And so that's kind of been the thing. So that I kind of fell in love with that. So that's, what I've been going with, Wadsy Jr. and Wadsworth Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was very easy. Because I've always known you.
I got to practice telling that story. That's why.
Okay, but
it sounds like you did.
The more you tell it, the easier it gets.
Exactly.
So, okay. I was wondering because I know when I first started, because that TikTok I just showed you guys is the TikTok that made me follow him, and so it was like, okay, this dude is hilarious, and his wife's reaction, she was like, yeah, just die, bruh. So that was kind of hilarious. So how long? Okay, so the question is from Ephraim. Ephraim, you want to answer? You want to ask it? You gonna mute it?
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
So TikTok, you're using TikTok to push your music. What are you doing with your music?
Man, you know what? Honestly, I just got on TikTok to watch people, man. But then I'm not pursuing anything directly right now with my music, but I still like to play. I love to play. I'm doing things like, around town, but as far as like on my own or pursuing anything independently, not directly as of yet. But I still like to play and post videos and stuff like that. So I just started doing that a little bit.
What's your background? You got in church? What?
Oh yeah, grew up in church. So you already know church musicians, But I done played with a few different genres as far as rock and country and all of that kind of stuff too. So I try to stay well rounded.
I'm gonna yield the floor because I know these boys got questions. But with your music, who do you pattern yourself after? Like, what's your sound? What vein you in?
You know what? Like, as far as like my main instrument is bass guitar. That's if anybody asks me what I am or what I play, I always say I play bass.
Okay.
So as far as sound and patterning, myself after somebody, I really my formative years of learning bass was really based off of like Fred Hammond, Maurice Fitzgerald, who was his bass player as well.
I knew it. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. when you came on and I saw the guitars in the back, you reminded me of Pages of Life, the live version when Fred was given to talk about going to Ohio to his grandpa's house. Yeah, and he was like, all I saw was guitars everywhere. And I'm telling you, that's so yeah, I feel that.
Is this the wrong time to say I ain't a big Fred Hammond fan?
Yeah,
no. I think leave that part out.
I enjoyed my time.
Leave that out.
Man, don't you do that to us already.
He a youngin. He don't know no better. He a youngin.
Who said that? Wait a minute. What did I miss? Did Kevin say he didn't like Fred Hammond?
Oh, no.
He said that? He said that. Come on, E.
Hold on.
I said not a big fan of. You know,
We didn't point no fingers, right?
Can I clarify something real quick?
Go ahead, please clarify, because even
Elder Ephraim Terrell said that.
Ephraim.
Elder.
Yeah. That's with a capital E and a capital R at the end.
Very cool. He made his contribution though. I don't want to take nothing from him.
Go ahead, Kev.
The jabs keep coming, right? All right. So when did you fall in love with the music, and when did you figure you had a talent for just not just a taste for music, but the talent to go along with it?
Man, it was really when I started playing bass. I grew up growing up in church. My pops is a pastor. And so, this has been my whole life. My whole family is musical. My pops, he plays organ and piano, and cousins, and everybody does some of everything. So I've always been around it. But my first instrument was drums, like as a kid. And I never really thought about venturing off into anything else. But my older brother, Jason, he plays bass. He's been playing bass forever. And he was moving out of town. And so we didn't have a bass player at church. And so that was what made me start trying. Like, well, I see him do it all the time, so I'll give it a shot, but just moving from drums, which is more rhythmic, into bass guitar, which is more melodic, musical, that it opened me up to a lot,
Yeah.
So that's really just playing bass is what really got me into music.
Oh wow! Hey, so how many instruments do you play?
I play bass and keys and drums. I still try to keep up with the drums a little bit, but if I'm rusty on anything, I'm rusty on them drums though. So.
Okay, but it's like riding a bike, you always get back into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Kevin, just for the sake of being petty in this episode,
don't you do it.
And when Wazzy lifted up his arm, did you see what he had on his wrist?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just just for the sake of being petty.
I'm about to call my fiance to tell me to bring her that Samsung watch.
So Ephraim was giving me a look like, what are you guys talking about? Okay, so before we went live, right? Kevin is a huge Samsung guy.
Yeah.
Samsung guy, right? And so we kind of went back and forth. He played this video, this comic on TikTok, whatever he is. But anyways, but so Wise got on his AirPods. He's got his Apple Watch on. I don't have mine on today because I got lazy. I didn't want to wear it. But that's that. So just in case you wonder what the heck is going on, all right. So, Wad, who's your favorite TikToker, brother?
You know what?
You have a favorite?
I don't know. It's you. It's you, my favorite.
Oh, come on.
That's what you tell all the guys.
Good answer.
No, seriously, I don't really. Somebody, you know what? Somebody asked me yesterday, who's my favorite artist to listen to in music. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm into favorites. I don't know, because it's like I enjoy especially like TikTok. I just enjoy the fact that you can literally open it up.
Yeah.
And you could get like any mood you want just scrolling down.
Yeah. In the mood is my favorite.
Yeah.
So that way. Let me ask you though, bro, like with your TikTok platform, your music and all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel, and I hope I'm asking this right, like maybe pressure to step away from your content to address issues? So we got civil unrest, but you on the comedy side. We got, economic stuff, but you do gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever feel like, or do you feel you kind of stick to your lane?
Nah, man. Like, the crazy thing is, like I said, I got on TikTok just to watch people, man, and posted a couple music videos. But then I think the first real political or racial or whatever video TikTok that I made was when they did that march thing. I forgot what it was for. Something they were going out singing worship songs in front of the White House or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that sometime last year. And I just felt the need not even to address it, but just to express, like, I guess my misunderstanding or my lack of understanding in what they were doing. And I didn't expect that was like actually like the first big TikTok I ever had. I think right now it's like at 50 something thousand views. But like, that's when everything kind of turned for me as far as like my content, because I got a lot of comments like agreeing and saying, yeah, like, I don't understand, like, that's crazy, why are they doing this or this, whatever. But then I would get the other comments. Like, I think one comment on there that I did a video reply to was like, he's going to get rid of all of the trash like you. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, or like the racial comments and all of that kind of. So
that's what they hit you with.
Yeah. So like that kind of. I mean, and I still reply, and I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like I laugh a lot. I'm goofy. I know. So it don't get to me, and I'm gonna reply the way that I am. But at the same time, it's like I'm seeing, like, okay, like these people, like they're here. So I'm gonna deal with it. And so that's kind of what changed. So like when people ask me like what kind of page I have, I don't know how to explain it because I got some of everything on there.
That's true. And that leads me into my next question for you though, is we're talking about TikTok and social injustice and all that. That's not the question I want to ask you. This is the one I want to ask you. Do you think TikTok is a safe place for advocacy of this social injustice? Because I've been doing it, and I've watched some of these guys like I Speak and T Nathan, Goddess Mia, and all these folks.
Consciously,
do you think it's a safe place?
You know what? Honestly, I mean, I do to a certain extent. I guess that to me it just depends on how private you are with your personal information.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, because I mean, that's that whole thing is a lie. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words never hurt. Words do hurt.
A mug.
Man, for real. So I mean, it'll get to you. Like them comments. They definitely had the potential to get to you.
Yeah.
Or to mess you up. But I will say this. So I guess it depends. I guess that it varies from person to person. But what I will say is, I definitely appreciate it, and I feel like it really makes a difference because there was a lot that I learned myself when I first got on TikTok, and just hearing a lot of people talk about social injustice and just the Black struggle and all of this kind of stuff, and then just to see that ignorant mindset is still out there, like the racist mentality is still out there.
Yeah,
I knew it was still out there. I didn't know it was this come on, like for real. It's that crazy. Like, y'all really still think we uneducated? Y'all really still think that we
still here?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, it's crazy to me.
It's infuriating if you actually if you would ask me. I get so angry for y'all as TikTokers. I don't post videos. I'm here for the content.
Yeah.
So, but when I go these like Brittany Lockridge, she's
Brittany. I follow her.
I follow her. I've been following her before anybody else, but because she's white, and she advocates for the Black community, she gets a lot of hate, and it really gets under my skin. So I can only imagine for you guys and the platform that you guys have formed with your followers. Man, I see the comments, and if I were you, I'd be like, "What's Cuba Gooding Jr. in that old school movie?" Telling me
Boys in the Hood,
it's cool. Kwan to say she loves her. Again, you guys, thank you for joining the Knucklehead Chronicles. Just in case you don't know where you are, you have stumbled across the best hour and some change on the internet. So what I want you guys to do, go ahead and share this broadcast out. Really appreciate you. We're sitting here and we're chopping it up with Josh Wadsworth Jr. at Wadsworth Jr. across our social media platforms. On this side, I would assume that's what it is across the platform, because ain't that many Wadsworth Jr. is running around here. I was going to pick at your name a little bit because I was like, man, you sound like you are an astute young man.
Yeah,
like Wadsworth, like
you make like a wine or something like that.
Exactly, right?
Reminds me of JT, where
that boy good. That boy good.
Man,
That boy good.
So John, would you label it a responsibility? Is it unfair for me to say, okay, if you got less than 20,000 followers, don't worry about it, but 21,000 and up, I expect you to speak on this issue. Is that fair?
You know what? I honestly, I would say it's not fair because, speaking, especially speaking against social injustice and things like that, it becomes a responsibility. You know, it's like I said, I always use myself as an example because I truly believe that everything varies from person to person. But like I said, like I'm a musician before I'm anything else outside of a husband and father. Mm-hmm. So music is really where my passion is. I just so happen to do a couple videos on social injustice or race issues or things like that. And that's oddly enough, that's where I've gotten the majority of my followers.
Yep.
So it's like they end up expecting you to comment on, or to hear your side on different issues that's going on. So I get videos sent to me all the time asking me what are my thoughts on this or on that. And I'm like, hey, I spoke on a few things. I'm really just here to play music though. That's what
I'm here.
So I get, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, but at the same time, I feel it. And because I'm black and because I'm in, and honestly, because I got two girls that I'm raising up, that my wife and I are raising up, like this is the world that they got to live in. So
right.
I do it. So I end up addressing those things, not because I feel like I have to, because people are expecting it, but anything that I do a video on or respond to, that is because I genuinely want to, and I feel like it'll help somebody.
It's just a reach one, teach one type of
thing.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, exactly.
It's also to assume that everything that you do, your art, your creativity, is an extension of who you really are. Real. So even we might get some comedy relief, we're getting unadulterated. How you feel?
Ooh, Dwayne, I didn't catch none of that, bro. Yeah,
say it one more time.
I don't know if it.
What was it? The mic, or did I just sound unintelligible?
Yeah, no, the mic.
Okay, so let me do this.
You're the smartest brother I know, bro. It's your secret right now.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
So, you look like this.
I just want to.
There you go.
Is it safe to assume that when we see your work, we see anything that you create, music or a TikTok video, that's an extension of who you really are, not that get from a place where you do the little comedy to work out.
Dwayne, do me a favor. Go ahead and go out and come back in, because that's like mumble like you on the wall.
I caught a little bit. I think he was saying something about being is that who you really are on TikTok?
Right. Yeah, I caught that part. And so and that's really the best way that I can explain my page is that's genuinely who I am. Yeah. Anything that I post on there or anything that I put on there, and it's funny because in real life I'm truly an introvert. Like I'm quiet. I prefer not to, what I'm saying? Like if I'm in a place for people, so it's like I really don't talk much. Like I really just sit back. I'm chill. I'm quiet. I observe, and I just keep it moving.
Right.
But yeah, like that's truly like 100% me.
Gotcha.
Go
ahead.
With the fault. Oh, my fault.
No. I was gonna because I wanted, because the name of the podcast is Knucklehead Chronicles podcast. This is why we're here. So what we try to do, Wads, is that we are here to try to help people, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that we do to try to help people is to help ourselves first.
I was gonna get into that right now too.
So my first question to you, or the main question I want to ask you is that what was your worst knucklehead moment? You're right. See that right there when it makes you pause.
You should have sent me this question. Man.
Yeah, I had to get you on that one. Yeah. Where's look ahead moment, bro?
You know what? Actually, when my wife and I were dating, and it was time for, she was ready for that next level, and I'm not good, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not good at keeping secrets from her. She know that. So she kept talking about, when we're gonna get married, when all of this stuff.
Oh man.
And I'm like, it's gonna happen, because I'm telling her like I'm ready too, but then it's like months going by, my knee ain't touching the floor, and she trying to figure out what's going on. And so I don't know how to hold her off and tell her like I got something in layaway. Just give me a little time to get it out.
We used to do layaway.
So, okay. No, this was like
thank God for layaway.
Man, listen, it saved my life. Man. So she ended up breaking up with me, man.
No.
And so I'm like,
Miss Jones.
But I couldn't. Right? Yeah, get her. I couldn't.
Where's she at? I need to talk to her.
But I couldn't. I couldn't tell her.
Yeah.
I'm not smooth like that. So I just had to take that L. So I actually ended up proposing to her while we were broken up.
Whoa! Let's because I wanted to get into a whole different, but let's pause on that for a second. Hold up. How did it feel? Was it awkward? Was it like how? Like, I mean, you broken up and then you had to propose to her. I'm trying to figure out how them knees felt for a second.
Come on, man. Okay.
It was taking too long. You gotta shoot your shot quick. Shoot it from
right.
You gotta shoot it from the elbow, not the 3-point line. That's what that
you can't shoot your free throw.
Yeah.
Right. Man, but no, it wasn't it was awkward because she's the type, she doesn't she don't bounce back like that. When she make up her mind is made. So you know what I'm saying? So and she's that type.
She made it hard. I know she made it tough for you, didn't she?
Oh man, listen.
She knew what was going on. She was.
But the only reason I felt okay, only reason I was okay with doing it was because her family knew what was up. So they helped me out. So so that's what kind of made it a little easy. She had no clue. So
don't tell me she's still holding it against you.
Oh no. No. Because then I was able to tell her like I just needed you to wait just a little bit longer, and she's like, "Well, I waited long enough." Because like we were dating for like
they got a few payments. That's it.
Yeah,
few payments of $19.99.
Exactly.
So real quick recap, man. This is the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, along with your boy the Guru, Kev the Great, Ephraim all the way up to the far right, and you got D Good down at the bottom, along with our guest Wisey Jr. in the building, man. We so appreciate y'all. Don't forget, if you are in the broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching, if you're able to share it, go ahead and share it to your platform. You can even send it through Messenger on Facebook. So make sure you send the podcast out, and also my friends on TikTok. I got one whole person on TikTok, but it's okay because it's our first one. It's our first person. So thank you for coming on and joining us on TikTok. So make sure you share the broadcast out. This will be rebroadcasted later as well. So just in case you missed it live, it is Kizay. Now, if I could, I want to give you real quick, Wisey, the hot seat question of the day that I'm gonna start this season. It's gonna be a little bit different. We're doing the hot seat question. All right. So here's the hot seat question that I want to give you. All right. So here's a hot seat question. If there was one piece of advice that the now you could give your old you, what would it be?
Oh man, that's easy. Say yes more. The reason I say that is because, and I honestly, I was just thinking about this not too long ago, but as a musician coming up, like I said, I've been around musicians all my life. I've been around music all my life. So I've always known really, really good musicians. And so being around really, really good musicians coming up, I've always felt like that was the standard. That was the level I had to be at, not realizing that, every person is their own unique individual self, so like I don't have to be, I can be just as good as you and not have to sound like you.
Right.
And so there were a lot of times where people will call me and say, hey, I need you for this, or we got this recording coming up, or can you play this concert? And like, years ago, like I would say, oh no, I'm busy, or no, I can't do it, because I was legit scared, because I felt like I wasn't good enough. So
even with the offer,
huh?
Even with the offer didn't make you feel solidified,
right? Because I would feel like, oh man, like it's dope that they think that much of me, but like, what if I go there and I flop, or I screw it up, or I just can't pick it up, or whatever. So just little stuff like that, just like self-doubt and all of that stuff, like years ago. But learning to and so that's one thing I've really been trying to work on, even lately, and I still work on it now. Just like, man, if somebody come to you, they believe you can do it, so just do it.
What was your moment that changed it? What made you get that confidence that you was legit?
When I really, when I hooked up with there was this band I used to play with. They were called Rock Nation.
Okay.
They
I thought you were gonna say Commission.
Oh no. Hey man, you only gonna get a couple more Fred shots in here, man.
You gonna leave Fred alone? Go ahead and stop, because I will take. You know what? Let's do it right now.
I can't save you, bro. I can't save you. You know what?
Right. No.
Hey, look, ain't nobody talking about R. Kelly now.
Hey,
leave Fred be.
Leave Fred alone, man. We're not gonna do Fred today. Leave Fred. Fred Hammond.
You would have came out better saying Chris Brown on that one.
Because Fred was the one that told us that there was no weapon formed against us. That's a problem.
Man.
I thought that was in the Bible, but it's all good.
I don't know.
The shots keep coming. The shots keep coming.
Oh man, they keep coming.
Go get you some bread of life.
Fred did the better.
When you got with that band, you felt legit.
Yeah, it wasn't just because of who they were. Like they're William Murphy's brothers, actually. So but getting with them, and they're twins. One of them is Devon Murphy and Dewan Murphy.
Okay.
Devon, dope. Yeah, man. And and he wrote like a lot of the songs that a lot of churches sing all over. So but just being able to get connected with them, and just to be able to catch on with their creativity, and like they literally would intentionally think outside the box, but to be able to fit into that vibe, and to be able to see music differently. I gained a lot of confidence, a lot of my confidence from being with them, and really just understanding how to be unique, how to be individual, how to be really just true to your own individual creativity, and realizing that you don't have to fit inside anybody's box. You be yourself.
So that was the moment that you realized that your gift was truly making room for you.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Dope.
If we could, let's shift gears just for a second. I want to ask Wadsy about this, because I haven't talked to you guys. A lot of events have happened in this country.
Oh, that was my next question.
Since we've talked last, so I kind of want to get a temperature gauge on what you guys are thinking, with the different topic. We can get into whichever one you want to first. So we can talk about Dante first. We can talk about Adam first. So. Where are you guys? Where are you? Well, I mean, as black men, because we're all black here, and we've had all these incidents that happen. I know that the Brothers of Legacy talked about it Thursday and Friday. I missed that.
Friday.
And so because I had to work. So where are you guys? with that. Let's get into Dante. Okay, let's talk about him first because I know Dwayne. I think Dwayne looks like he's got some feelings about that. But why is it, since you're the guest? I'll start with you. What was your thinking when you first heard about Dante Wright and what happened with him? What were your thoughts?
It's extremely unreal to me that people, and I mean, I gotta say it like this: that racists still have something to say, to where this is obviously, like, I mean, this you can't call this a mistake and treat it like a mistake,
right?
Like a life is legit lost, like gone, because you mistakenly didn't know what you had in your hand,
right?
But like people are legit still trying to defend her. Like,
yeah,
it's not, like Chris Rock said, like some professions, like you gotta be good.
You just gotta be,
you gotta be good. You know. That's my thing.
What did he say? He said like a pilot.
Yeah, right.
You gotta have good pilots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't. That's a profession. You can't say, "Oh, there's a few bad apples in the bunch." You know, you got one that land. You like the ones that hit out of bounds. You know. So you gotta. So it was extremely troubling to me, and what I've heard on TikTok and people are commenting, he had a warrant. He had a warrant, and I'm also hearing that the warrant was actually a crap warrant because Minnesota sent the Zoom to the wrong address.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we got sent back.
And so just crazy.
Can y'all feel the climate change now? Like, and I'm not talking weather, I'm talking mood. And when I say that, we men, all right. I know Ephraim, you're gonna have to do it soon. Dwayne, I know you've probably done it. Mr. Wadsworth Jr., I know you're probably gonna be there soon. Terry, I've given the talk. All right. Normally, when we men grow up, we get the talk of the birds and the bees. Everybody get the birds and the bees talk. Now it's coming to the times where we have to talk over the birds and the bees. We got to talk about the social racism, the injustice.
Exactly.
What to do in terms of when you are with, around cops. I literally had to give that to my kids. I think I've given them my daughter Destiny that talk 3 times. I've given my son Dion. We had a misunderstanding one time, and I told him, son, it's only for protection. These people in Texas don't know you that well in San Antonio. They might know you in your neighborhood in El Paso, but when you come here to San Antonio with me, it's a different climate. These people they know my face. You look like me, but they don't know you. They know me as a coach in my community. They don't know you. And they will look at you quickly and judge you as a hoodlum. And that this is the climate that we're in now. I mean, things are starting to change, and people are like, well, get on board or not. No, it's not the point that we need to get on board. What you need to get on board with is getting in, making sure that these changes need to happen. That's what you need to get on board with.
But this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Watch.
But this is the thing with the talk now, though, is like even like the talk has to change again because it's not just because I mean we used to give the same talk that they give us now. Like if you comply, you won't die.
What's up?
We complying, but we still dying.
Yeah.
So it's like now
that's very true.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not to agree with any of you brothers because I agree with everything that was said.
Right.
Maybe it's just the older part of me, or maybe it's the growing up in South Carolina part of me. But you guys are talking about things as if this has just started happening. Right. I try to say this every chance I get. This isn't new. It's just more visible now.
Yeah,
it's like now. If Rodney King, if it would have happened, if we had the technology we got now, it would have been on TikTok, Twitter, IG, Facebook, and every other platform you can think of. but they was ninjas in the backwoods being hung when I was growing up. You know, it's not a new thing. And my mom had those conversations, the same conversations y'all talking about. It might not have been specifically cops, but it was the same agitator, if you will. And those are the racists and the rotten apples and all the despots of society. Those people have always been around. It's just now there's a bigger spotlight on it. And it's, as a former cop, it's troubling for this reason. I know that not everybody approach policing like I approach policing, but whether you're right, wrong, or indifferent, any encounter at jump is already full of tension. So what we see in these situations is a complete disregard of respect to basic human rights.
Right.
And we're seeing it at one point. The argument could be made, okay, that was them. Okay, but now when you 3 times in one city within 2 years, can you really point outside and say, oh, that was them? No, you have a problem, Minnesota. But I'm gonna save the rest of this for my
that's my man. That's my man. Friend.
For me, like it's speaking as a church man, right? Like I'm honestly challenged to try to keep my hope, my faith, because that's our position. Like they say, the difference between blues and the gospel. Gospel gotta, all that same stuff happened, but we got a hope, right? So I'm trying to keep my hope, man, that we will see justice, that we will see change. And when you see this stuff, like Dwayne say, it's not new. It's almost like it's on repeat. The name just keeps changing. There was a misunderstanding and somebody black dead. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me the honest challenge, and I'm not saying it with the answer. I get just angry, but I'm just here trying to keep my hope.
Can we put on spotlight that, and I've seen it lately, where we got doctors and lawyers and people of professions saying, well, it takes years to become a profession at that job. Well, now that and then you bring into the spotlight being a cop for 5 to maybe 6 months, and you are able to patrol the streets with very little practice, very little acknowledge, just being in that profession of being a cop, because being a cop is a profession, whether you like it or not. Whether we want to know it, it's a tough job. It is. Yeah. But to have to put someone's life just because of a simple judgment or something like that. I mean, come on, man. And there was a cop on TikTok, a white guy, who literally put, I have it saved. I should have sent it to Terry, but he literally, look, this is my taser. This is on my on my non-dominant side. My gun is on my dominant side. How do you, out of 26 years, confuse that out of a lightweight compared to a heavyweight? Confuse that in 26 years while training on top. Exactly.
Well, let me not even to interrupt you, because I've worn it, Yeah. And I don't have 26 years experience. I had 3 years experience. I did the military, and I was doing that for about 18 years, and then got tired of sitting around. So I was like, hey, let's try the cop thing. I don't know what circumstances I would have to be under for that to make sense for me. Right. One, lethal side, non-lethal side. Okay, that's number one, because you want to be comfortable. You want to be comfortable wherever you're going. So if you know that this isn't a threat, that somebody's life is in danger, but I do need to stop him, okay, I'm on my non-lethal side. That should be muscle memory. And I won't even say at 3 years. After you get shot with a taser for the first time, you always know where it is.
For sure.
Because you can't carry it without being shot with it, right? There is no that one, the XS25 or 26, whichever one they're using. It has gun-like qualities. However, it doesn't feel like a Glock. It doesn't weigh the same as a Glock. And it's on the opposite side of your body. 26
and
years,
it lights up.
And the only way that this would be believable for me personally is if we're talking about like a Barney Fife type cop who's patrolling rural areas, who they know everybody in their patrol zone, and they're like, "Hey, you're too drunk, Eddie. Hey, you need to go home before I have to take you." One of those situations of somebody who's never had to pull any of that. Possibly.
I can buy that.
You got
that's outside of that. No, but again, I'll shut up until
he's got something. He said Barney, but let's go back just for a second. He said Barney Fife. Now, the last episode of Andy Griffith that I seen with Barney Fife, he told
it was a rerun.
He told Opie, he said, "You gotta nip it in the bud." Or was it Andy he was talking to? You got to nip it.
That was Andy, I think. That's old. I used to watch that at 10 o'clock a.m. at night when I was supposed to be in bed. Mama, you better not be watching this.
That's how you know you old. We're watching he said, nip it in the bud. All right, so let's jump over to Adam Toledo, the 13-year-old that was shot in Chicago.
Whew, man, this one hit. This one hits. This one literally touches me, and I don't know about you, Watson Jr. And I definitely want to hear your take on this. But this one literally hit me right in the feels because my teenagers are in that age group. Mm-hmm. So and this is why I had that discussion with my son that I just told y'all about. It hit me right in my feels, and I literally shed a tear. Reading comments and watching it over and over and over on TikTok, and it got me in my feels. So I probably might want to shut up on this one, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all have this one.
Yeah, that was hard because the video. Now I'm just because I have not seen the video all the way through.
I haven't either.
Right. So there is a video of him. It was some body cam footage of him running, and there was a weapon.
But not at the time he got shot. No, they did find a weapon at the scene. Yes,
but it was so because the last picture that I saw was they showed him with his hands up, and he was shot with his hands up, and as soon as he did that,
you said he was shot with his hands up.
Yes, that's picture they showed. Yeah, they were shot with it, but they won't release the body cam. I mean, all the body cam footage, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the body cam. Someone said that there's a shadow of a gun. I literally froze it, took a picture of it, and sent it to that person and said,
"Well, show me." But going back to what he was saying, like it's tough being a cop. Those are the calls that I could not make. I couldn't pull up at a trailer park, 12 o'clock in the morning, and try to get a dispute. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't make that call. It's impossible. But it was lit up. It was in the alley. He turned around, hands up. As soon as he turned, he was shot. They did find a gun at the scene, but at the time he was shot in the chest. This 13-year-old boy didn't have a gun.
Yeah, no,
and that's it's amazing to me. Well, I mean, and this is still happening. I mean,
and this is not knowing all the details. Some things you don't need all the details for, right? Okay, for that to end, if his hands were up at that point, there is no threat. So at that point, so there's no need for anything from that point forward. Right. Now, there's a plethora of things that goes into situations. Like I've been in some of them, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the things that people take into account. Number one, they're 13-year-olds with bodies in Chicago, depending on where you at.
Big time.
And then on top of that, it's hard to know who's who. Because I remember when drill music was first on the scene, I'm looking like these dudes look like supposed to be an 8th grade lunch or something, but they killers. Yeah. And I'm not being like the media because the media has this horrible thing of taking an innocent person and smearing who they are because of where they're from and something that happened in the past. I just don't know all of the details. All I know is to slow it down and say that there's a shadow of a gun at a split second while I'm giving chase.
It's tough. It's tough. For them, like it is a tough job. That's what I'm saying. You can't do it. So I don't even get on. Was it the right call, wrong call? What I try to stay on is the fact that it keep happening. And I think he was Hispanic. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. Yeah. But I'm saying he wasn't white.
Right.
All right. And he died. And that's the same narrative.
This is where I get aggravated. And I'm very, very frustrated with the fact that we have school shootings, airport shootings. We have cops being shot at, or even threatened by, white people.
Mm-hmm.
But yet people are afraid. Supposedly, we're being, people of color or ethnicity. There's trademark that they are afraid of us, whether you're Latino, you're black, even Chinese now for some reason. I've seen some of these things on them, but they're afraid of us. We're not the ones with ARs going in schools. We're not the ones going, in churches, shooting
FedEx.
up communities. FedEx, Amazon down here in San Antonio, the airport over here in San Antonio. I mean, you got to be kidding me at this point. Get the media and I wanted to touch on this because Dwayne mentioned media, and the media is getting very annoying to me when it comes down to you want to label people of color on Fox and other of these other news outlets and say, oh, this kid, being black, he was a threat, he was a thug, and this and that. But when you get to these other people that are shooting up these schools and churches, oh, he was psycho. He was just a nutbag. That's it.
He had a bad day.
That's it. He had a horrible day at the office. He woke up
day.
on the wrong side of the bed. We giving that type of excuse for this? Are you kidding me here? So this, and see, I don't know, and I feel like I'm being very animated, but at the same time, that's just my frustration.
I love animation.
Sorry, that's frustration at this point.
We're gonna start calling you wacko around here. Animaniac.
I'll take that. That's old school. Y'all know about that.
But yeah, and so there's so much that we this thing could go on for 2 hours. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna do it because we're not gonna get into Sergeant Pentland either with his,
man.
I mean, them folks. There was a picture that floated around. Sergeant. Now, those of you who are listening and don't know who Sergeant Pentland is, Sergeant Pentland was the guy that harassed that young man in his neighborhood and pushed him and assaulted him. And then the next day, the neighborhood came to see him, at his house.
They came to see him.
And so there was a picture, and the picture was captioned, "If this is the moment when you messed up."
Right.
They came to see him. They came to see him.
They started to GoFundMe for him too. He's gonna move.
They had to move him. Yeah.
But you know what? And that's the crazy. I'm not my fault. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's the crazy. First of all, well, two things. Number one, that's the greatest example of poetic justice ever. Second of all, like, that's the part that's crazy to me is that, like, somebody still gonna have his back.
Yeah.
Somebody still gonna make sure that he live good.
Yeah.
Same way with the whole Ahmaud Arbery killing.
Yeah.
Like, people set up a GoFundMe, raised I can't remember how much. It was a crazy amount of money. For him, it's a brotherhood, man. Like they got each other back.
But thankfully, him being the U.S. Army soldier that he is, the Army has strict policy and guidelines, and his was very public. I'm pretty sure he might not be Sergeant whoever now. And those brothers that work in the same unit, I wonder how he look at them brothers eye to eye.
The last account that I saw on that, his GoFundMe was $10. That was the last time I saw.
he gonna get what he need. Wait till the Ku Klux Klan get a hold of it. He gonna get what he need.
$10 though. Who gave him 10? Listen, we've gotten to the end of the show. This is where we're gonna kind of downspan now because we're getting ready to get to the end of it. All right, so we got a couple of things that we do. I'm gonna let Dwayne do Knucklehead of the Week at the end before the guest closes us out. But before we get to that, one of these got to go, man. I love the one because we do a thing on the Brothers of Legacy.
I hope you're ready, Mr. Watson Jr. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
Not really one has to go, but who you got. That's kind of it's the name of the segment is who you got. All right, so I like that segment. I just on the fly. Who you got? All right, so the first one is Now, all of us, we're old. We're men of a certain age, so we watch a lot of the 80s sitcoms, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I'm waiting on the question.
If you had to pick one, would it be?
Oh man, Laura.
Topanga?
Well, you know what?
Laura Winslow.
Topanga, man. Topanga was some kind of light-skinned Brazilian exotic type of green eyes.
Yeah.
Hips shouldn't be on a white girl like that.
And she still look gorgeous.
Okay, who you say, Kevin?
Topanga.
Topanga, man.
I'm just hoping my wife don't wake out of a nap right now and just throw something at me.
Yeah, I said mine too loud.
He's a smart man. He said,
look, right.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Why you say Topanga too?
Man, you know what? I don't. When I was a kid, when I was watching Family Matters, I had it. Look. See, I'm in trouble. But I did have a crush on Laura as a kid, though.
Oh man. I knew who she was. Exactly.
Ooh, Miss Benny, yes.
Wait, who'd you say?
No, I said when I was a kid watching Family Matters, I did have a crush on Laura.
Oh, Laura. Yeah,
yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah.
Who did?
Dwayne, who you got?
Fifth.
Okay. There you go. It's probably the best answer we all should have used. All right, last one. Who you got? Now, we just lost DMX.
Yeah.
Right, and then we lost Black Rob on yesterday.
Oh wait, hold up! I didn't know we lost him. I thought.
Yeah, man.
We lost Black Rob on yesterday.
It was like whoa.
So, who you got? DMX, Black Rob. If you're having a cookout and you had to bust,
that's too easy, man.
You had to play one of them music.
That's too
easy. The dog, man.
Yeah. DMX.
I was still gotta be clean though.
You can't be. That was low key a disrespectful question.
The DMX.
That was a low key disrespectful question.
Don't make me come for Black Rob what he did. Don't do it, man.
Hey, y'all see my fiance, right?
Yeah,
I love you.
Y'all gonna let Topanga get y'all in trouble.
I didn't give an answer either because I'm talking loud enough so my wife can hear me in the kitchen.
Mine too, man. You set me up though. I didn't know you were doing that.
I'm telling y'all gonna have Ginzu knives thrown at your head.
It's okay. All right, so MSK Grant said this is her comment. It's kind of long, so just bear with me. The media puts out a false narrative initially often fed to them by the police. Later, audio or video that comes out show it was all lies. Ronald Green, 2 years in Louisiana. Oscar Grant, 10 years in California. Jorge Gomez, 8 months in Nevada. Kendrick Johnson, 8 years in Georgia. Jesse Cedillo, 1 year in Colorado. Unit all complete video, audio, and cam records and 911 calls. They independently evaluated. There should be no determination of charges or settlements. Listen, all of that, man, it's just so tough, and just constantly trying to fight about it on like on the platform that me and Watts here on with TikTok, and we were talking earlier about the video you had that did 50K. I got one that's still climbing. It was at 120,000 views about Officer Lucky, and the quick update on him is that he got terminated. They finally terminated him.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that.
They finally terminated him. They gave him a termination notice on April the 12th. However, the initial story was that he got a job in the next county over, but that story turned out to be false, and he was not hired by that other county. So Mr. Lucky, Officer Lucky, is still without a job. So I'm thankful for that. So TikTok came up.
Won't he do it?
Chief Spencer sent me a message on Facebook. He said, Terry, I received 12,000 calls about that.
Wow.
And I was like,
not me. Not me.
Who will say?
Them.
We're for actually paying to do it all next week. I ain't saying nothing. Hey, Willette,
they set me up, Willette. I needed you about 5 minutes ago, Willette.
I sure needed you about 5 minutes ago.
Me and V are from the same high school, and so yeah, he did get fired. He was terminated on April 12th. and he did say he was going to get
Hey, before we go, I want to ask Mr. Watson Jr. This is gonna make or break you, all right?
Okay.
And I, Mr. Dwayne, Mr. Goodson, I know you're gonna appreciate this question right off the bat. So, Mr. Watson Jr.
What's up, Will? What's up, baby boy? That's my man.
LeBron or Jordan? Go.
Oh my goodness. No, not that.
You know what though? I'm gonna say this. I'm not a legit like sports person though. Like I watch, see,
See, he's AD.
but like
That's
I
AD.
watch.
Right
Listen, I watch championship games. I watch the Super Bowl, but like I don't keep up with it.
Okay.
Now I will say this.
Listen,
I will say this though. I mean,
don't tread lightly.
I love Jordan though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rock issues.
I kept up with him more when I was coming up. So
Sure. All right. So we're gonna jump into the next to one of my favorite subjects, our segments on this show, and that is with my man, D Good. So y'all hang tight for me. Now it's time for the Knucklehead of the Week with your host, D Good. All right, Mr. Goodson, you got the flow, baby boy. You muted.
You can go ahead and put that beautiful bean footage up there. I want to read something. I think reading is fundamental.
There it is.
Before we say anything, let's read the Minnesota statute for what second degree murder is. Intentional murder, drive-by shooting. Whoever does either of the following is guilty of murder in the second degree and may be sentenced to imprisonment for no more than 40 years. Number one, causes the death of human being with the intent or to effect the death of that person or another, but without premeditation. Number two, causes the death of a human being while committing or attempting to commit a drive-by. That one doesn't. That one's not in effect here. Unintentional murders. Whoever does either of the following is guilty of unintentional murder, which is also second-degree murder. Number one, causes the death of a human being without intent to the effect the death of many persons while committing or attempting to commit a felony, yada yada yada. Bottom line is what I'm doing is reading the statutes for the charge that the officer in Minnesota has received. So I think we've already jumped on her. We don't believe her. She needs more people. So bottom line is I'm not giving Knucklehead of the week to this lady. I'm giving the Knucklehead of the week to one more. Can you put me back real quick there, Terry? This is the gentleman.
God. Who's this guy?
Yeah, this is Mr. Pete Orput. He's the district attorney for the good Brooklyn Center or Washington County. Now, the sad thing about this guy, right? He used to work in Minneapolis, and he was a part of the violent gang task force prior to becoming Washington County. So when you see what violence is, and then you see a 26-year veteran make a mistake you make at the academy, and you still choose to ignore all the facts, and you charge a person with something that AR, who sold dope, got more time or has already received more time than she's facing. We got a problem, America. Knucklehead of the week.
This dude
in the same city, and you still giving passes.
Man, this dude right here got a lot of teeth, bro.
I was just about to say that.
He's got a lot of teeth.
Oh man, his orthodontist got to be mad when he make a visit.
Bite a peach in one bite.
Corn is not a problem for him.
Man,
that dude. Okay. Oh my goodness.
How many toothpicks he go through in a day?
All right. All right. So Ms. Emmett, before we close it out and let our guests close it out today, I'm gonna read MSK's last comment here. There are 14 officers in Vallejo, California, bending the tips of badges and killings. And there are many officers across the country who have killed multiple people with no consequence. Derek Chauvin killed Wayne Reyes and had 17 on the record use of force complaints. If he had been disciplined or fired, George Floyd might be alive. Instead, his department made him training officer that day. They covered up for Chauvin for years. Chauvin and George Floyd both did security at a club together and had issues. Man, this is crazy. He loves his smile. I must have missed all that. All right, so what we're gonna do?
She talking about the DA.
Oh, I bet he do love his smile.
I bet he do. I bet the mirror don't.
I hope he ain't married.
Oh,
We get into a roast.
What you talking about? That's Topanga sugar daddy.
No, don't do that. Don't.
I'm telling you, listen, that dude passed out hysterectomies. You better leave him alone. All right, so we're gonna
R.I.P. to Hover Dale.
So what we're gonna do right here, though, we're gonna give the floor. Now I want to think before YZ closes us out with his closing words here. I want to say thank you to everyone that came in and watched us and listened to us today. Everybody who shared this broadcast, I really appreciate you. This was a season 3 premiere. I done embarrassed Ephraim from today. I think he's done with me. As soon as we hit the outro, he's gonna be good. So, but our guest of the hour is gonna close us out. So what we do at the end here, we give our guest the opportunity to give one last closing remark. How can folks, if you want folks to follow you, how can they follow you? Where can you at a website or whatever? This is where we do that, and then any inspiring words you want to give before we close this out.
all right. Well, if you want to follow me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Even Twitter. I'm barely on there though. But at yzjunior.com. At YZ Junior, not .com. I'm tripping.
It's okay.
No, you good.
Right.
Yeah, at YZ Junior on all platforms. Find me, follow me, and I got you. Also, I just want to say real quick, I appreciate all of y'all brothers, man. I appreciate what y'all doing. I'm so happy to have been a part of this. I'm definitely going to be keeping up with the podcast.
Appreciate you.
This is really good stuff, really nice. I had a really good time, man. I appreciate it.
Get you some merch.
Oh yeah. Oh no, seriously. Yeah. And you said to get the hoodie. So, but it's about to get hot, man. So I don't know. But
yeah, I've been trying to get.
I might just have to get both though.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
But it's
Can we not sleep on his drip too? By the way, like
he got
Joe Cool.
Like y'all don't see Snoopy chilling with ice on his eyes.
That's Joe Cool though. That's not Snoopy. That's Joe Cool. That's Joe Cool right there. So again,
thank you, man.
Again, man, we want to thank you for you having the time to come through.
I appreciate it.
We really appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, man. So you have a green light. You can come back in anytime you want to. And you got that open door. So everybody that came through, thank you for that. If you have not, it's never too late to share the broadcast out, man. Somebody get you. Oh, go ahead.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Since y'all done got me in trouble. Shout out to my wife.
Yeah.
Shout
out to my wife.
I love you. Hey, listen, man.
Man, she watched
Topanga and Laura, like they trash. It's all you.
Absolutely trash.
Of course, Topanga trash.
Yeah, trash. Yeah.
Look at. I'm getting a death eye right now. Lord,
I'm telling you.
I feel Darth Vader grip around my neck right about now. Look.
Let me shout out my wife too. I thank you. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. I love you so much. Just shout out to you, man.
That's funny. That's also, if Miss Jones, if Miss Terrell, and Miss Jen is close, y'all stay right there. We're gonna go offline here in a little bit. So just you guys
I try to tell y'all.
We will see you guys.
Listen.
We will see you guys on next Sunday. Next Sunday's guest is going to be none other than Felinda Stovall talking about her book next week.
I'm excited about that one, yo.
Okay,
like that's my longtime friend on that one. So we're gonna show her some love next week. I can't wait.
All right, so we'll see you guys on next Sunday. Have a blessed week, man, and know that we all love you out here. If you have any questions, man, hit a boy up. All right, have a good one. Hey, that's the one with no music. My bad. We don't do that. Have a great day.